continue, to calculate the mass of hydrogen peroxide, we're simply going to do the concentration times the molar mass. That's what I have here. So this is concentration, and this is, right, so concentration here, and this is molar mass. Alright, so we multiply the values. We got 0.283 mole per dm cube times the molar mass of hydrogen peroxide, and we get 9.62 gram per dm cube. Right, so the mole would cancel the mole, and we're left back with gram per dm cube. Right, so that's how we get that unit there. However, they say calculate the mass, right, and we know that the unit for mass is gram. Now, what this answer, how we interpret this answer is, it's saying we have 9.62 grams in 1 dm cube of a substance, right? So it's 9.62 gram per dm cube of a substance, which means that we don't necessarily have to include the per dm cube because it's per dm cube, right? We don't have to include that part of the unit. So it's simply going to be 9.62 grams. Now for the balancing, and let me just erase here. Right, so for the balancing of the equation, nice. So I would have written the reactants and the products already. Alright, and I wrote my state symbol. Now when you're balancing, if you can do it in your head and you can add up and know exactly the amount of elements present on both sides of the equation, then fine, you're good to go. But if you cannot, I'm going to do the long version. I'm going to draw my reaction table. So we have our reactants on the left and the products on the right. Now we're going to write down all the elements present in our reactant side. So it was just hydrogen and oxygen, and all the elements present on the product side, hydrogen and oxygen. Note that whenever you do a chemical equation, you cannot form new elements. So if you start off with hydrogen and oxygen, you cannot somehow create chlorine. No, whatever elements you begin with, those are the elements that you should end up with. Right, so let us put in the totals for these elements. On the left, we have 2 hydrogens and 2 oxygens. On the right, we have 2 hydrogens and 2 plus 1 oxygen right there, which is 3. Right, so let us balance. We have hydrogen that is balanced, yes, but oxygen is not balanced. As we can see on the product side, we have 2 different oxygens. 2 oxygens present, or we have oxygens present in different compounds, right? So what I recommend is that for one, yes, the oxygen on the product side equal to 3, and the one on the reactant side equal to 2. Since we need to get them to be the same, get them to have the same least common multiple, right? We can start off by using some numbers, and we always start off by using smaller numbers, right? Because we're trying to get them to be the same. So I'm going to try to use 2 over on the left. So 2 multiplied by 2 would give me 4, right? 2 multiplied by 2 would give me 4. I'm going to put this 2 up here in front of the compound. Right, now when I put the 2 in front of the compound, yes, it's saying that I have 4 oxygens. 2 times 2 gives us 4. But it's also saying that I have 4 hydrogens. 2 times 2 gives us 4. Right, so now we can actually try to balance the hydrogen out before we look back on the oxygen, because oxygen is a bit complicated to balance. So we have 4 hydrogens here, and we have 2 on our product side, right? We need to get them to have the least common multiple, right? And the least common multiple between 4 and 2 is 4. Right, so what number can we multiply 2 by to get 4? And that would be 2. So 2 times 2 give us 4. This 2, we're going to put it in front of wherever the hydrogen is, which is here, right? And when I put the 2 in front of the hydrogen, so it's saying that we have 2 times 2, we have 4 hydrogens, so that's balanced, right? But we also increase the amount of oxygen. So right now we have 2 times 1 right there. So 2 times 1 give us 2. Plus 2, which is over here for the oxygen. And as you can see, our oxygen is no balance, right? So it's 2 times 2 give us 4 on the left, and 2 plus 2 give us 4 on the right. Right, and there we have it. We completed our rate of reaction question. If you do have any question, just let me know. And if you have any struggles with any of the past paper questions, you can always let me know. And as usual, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.